right now you are a sales representative. Have you ever thought that that would be the title of the career you were going to build?
Absolutely not. I started out as a first grade teacher and kind of took my kids rock climbing and fell into climbing and the love of the outdoors. And the last thing I thought I would ever be doing is number one, sales. Number two, getting to sell something I love too and love to play in.
When you first, because now I know you're doing sales and you're doing this with a lot of the values that I speak about when it comes to selling with love. And, we reinforce this in the way that we built our training. But I'd be curious to know when you were back as a teacher and enjoying the outdoor, and you would have been exposed to potentially an opportunity to be in sales, what were the initial preconceptions that you had about what sales would be like?
That's a good one. I guess it's, that time you go in to buy a car and you're like, oh, that feeling of like someone selling me something. Is it legit? Are they being authentic in it? Is it really going to be for me and towards caring for what I want? And of course, you're thinking, no, it's the dark side. It's not very truthful, and they don't care about you, and all those feelings that you get sometimes when you walk into sales. And I can tell you it hasn't been that way.
What have you discovered when you decided to get yourself into sales with all these assumptions that you had, and then you realized that there were some differences here?
Yeah, it was really, I don't want it to be that way. I'm going to be a good partner. I really care about the people I sell to. I really want to listen to them to really see what their needs are and to create an environment that we're both working together for them and their success in their business, and also my success in my business and my team and their team. So it's really joining together.
When I hear you say that, it sounds like anybody who's maybe going into a sales role, because sales needs to happen in every industry. And here we're talking about one that you had some passion for. It seems like most, if not all of the people that would be going into a sales role in an industry they have passion about would start with some similar assumptions, or at least goals, or wanting to do their best, wanting to listen. This seems like very human types of ways of doing business. But I'd be curious to know if this is kind of the assumption that you went into it. Do you think it's the same for most people who get in that industry? And if not, do you think that there's a reason why we still see bad sales representative in various industries?
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people get into a sales rep position in the outdoor industry thinking about sales, but also thinking, oh, I'm also going to be able to do it on my time and continue to we love to still play outdoors, but it's going to be playing outdoors. It's going to be just talking about what I'm stoked on. It's going to just be so much fun. And it is, although there's a big responsibility to up-level our outdoor industry rep as a business leader, as someone who runs their own business, the reputation of showing up, and making sure that they're continuing to have that care for our industry that we love, our environment that we love, and the stores and the retail that we love, and the brands. It's a very interesting position that a independent sales rep is in. You're not always thinking and representing the store and or your retailer. You're also representing your brand. Your boots on the ground, making sure that your brand is being represented in the light that they would like you to be, and that you're a great ambassador for your brand and yourself. It's your reputation in the end. You're the one being hired by the brand, and you're the one talking to the retailer.
When you talk about retailers or these dealers, and I know I had to learn some industry terms when we started working together, your job in essence is to take brands, and I'll use some examples that maybe majority of people would know, but think North Face, think Patagonia, all these different places that have outdoor gear, and they want to bring it inside retailers to be sold on their shelves and in their storefront. And so what is the typical engagement or vibe that you would have as a sales representative? And we've already talked about what are the assumptions people have about sales rep. When you walk into a new location, like how receptive are people when a sales rep comes in? Is it more like love and other drugs, where it's a pharmaceutical sales rep that comes in and they're expecting freebies and gifts? Or is there, shut the door on the independent sales that you would think from like a vacuum salesperson that goes door to door? What is the reality of your world as a sales representative when you go out and do prospecting?
Good question. I think the first one is when we walk into that store, we are looked as like, yeah, the sales rep's here. But what's so interesting, time after time, people are the floor staff, the buyers, the owners. When we get in the store, they're actually looking for knowledge. They want to know how to sell the product that we're selling to them, how to increase the sales, how to be the best partners they can be from their store or retail location to their community. They're also doing a large service for their community, and they want to make sure that their community friends are happy with the purchases they're making from the store. Just as I said, it's my reputation. It's the retailer's reputation once that product goes out the store. So a lot of times, yes, it's fun. We'll give them, we'll do clinics and free product, but it's so important to give the knowledge that we have as reps from our brand and go ahead and transcribe that and give that to the floor staff, boots on the ground, that they can also talk to their community in their community's voice and make sure they have sell-through and sales too.
There's in the concepts of selling with love, we talk about love the client, and that's having an understanding of who the client is. It doesn't seem like we're talking about just having the store owner as your client here. There's a lot of different stakeholders and a lot of different people that get affected by your sales process. And so how do you manage all the different people in a sales process to ensure that it results in a success?
There is an ecosystem there for sure. I mean, we talk all the way from, as an independent sales or as a sales rep, being part of the development of the product to the product coming into the time that you get to sell it to the store. So the development of a product to the product being launched to an independent or to a sales rep from the brand. And that is such an exciting time for all of us. We're all excited. What's the new stuff? What's the new cool tech? What is all of that? And then we get to take the product that the brand has worked over probably 2 years on, and we get to then introduce it to the retailers, the buyers, the communities. So we then take it to the retailers, and we're super stoked and excited about it. And we get to ask them, please bring our product in. This is the why. This is how cool it is. I'm going to be there for you. We're going to make sure it goes to the next step of once it's ordered, once it's manufactured, it lands at the stores. And then we come back in and we get to really, just what we were talking about, get excited with the staff, talk about the new super cool tech. Then, this shoe can, make you climb harder. This, all of that fun super tech stuff. And then they get to go, and in their own way, the floor staff and the owners get to go sell it to their community. So there's a full ecosystem going all around that we all get to be a part of and get to be excited about and get to put our spin on it and care about it. So we care about it so much. And then we need to make sure that all of our brands have success and that our retailers have success and that we have success.
Thank you so much for listening to the Selling with Love podcast. We have some previous episodes you can tune into right here. And if you prefer the short form content where you get to the point in under 10 minutes, we do have a ton of clips from our best episodes that are being shared on this channel as well. So pick which one supports you the most. And of course, thank you for liking, subscribing, and of course, selling with love.